What's an efficient way to overcome procrastination? Right now, as you're watching this video, there's probably something you should be doing instead. Maybe it's that project that's been sitting on your desk for weeks, or that important email you keep meaning to send, or perhaps it's studying for an exam that's creeping up on you. Don't worry, I'm not judging you. In fact, I'm about to tell you why procrastination might actually be your brain's way of protecting you, and more importantly, how to work with your brain instead of against it. Hi everyone, I'm going to share with you the most comprehensive, science-backed system for overcoming procrastination that I wish someone had taught me 10 years ago. This isn't just another productivity video with generic advice. We're going deep into the psychology, the neuroscience, and the practical strategies that actually work. Here's what we're covering today. Why your brain is literally wired to procrastinate, and it's not your fault. The 3 types of procrastinators and which one you are. My personal 5-step system that helped me go from chronic procrastinator to, well, someone who actually finishes things. The one mindset shift that changes everything. And a complete 30-day action plan you can start implementing today. But first, let me tell you about the day that changed my relationship with procrastination forever, personal story, and relatability. It was 3 a.m., I was sitting in my pajamas, frantically trying to finish a proposal that was due in 5 hours. This wasn't just any proposal. It was for a client that could have brought in $50,000 to my business. I'd had 6 weeks to work on it. 6 weeks. And here I was with red eyes, surviving on energy drinks, trying to cobble together something that should have been my masterpiece. The worst part? This wasn't the first time, or the second, or even the 10th. I was stuck in this horrible cycle where I knew exactly what I needed to do, but I just couldn't make myself do it. Maybe you know this feeling, that pit in your stomach when you think about the thing you're avoiding, the guilt that follows you around like a shadow, the way you beat yourself up, calling yourself lazy or undisciplined, even though deep down you know you're capable of so much more. Well, I didn't get that client, but I did get something more valuable. A wake-up call that sent me on a journey to understand why we procrastinate and, more importantly, how to stop. And what I discovered changed everything. But before I share what I learned, I need to tell you something that might surprise you. Ready? Here it is. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It's not even a motivation problem. It's an emotional regulation problem. And once you understand this, I mean really understand it, everything starts to make sense. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start with the science. The science section. All right. Let's talk about what's actually happening in your brain when you procrastinate. And fair warning, this might blow your mind. Inside your head, there's essentially a battle happening between 2 parts of your brain. In the red corner, we have your limbic system. This is your emotional, impulsive brain. It's ancient, it's powerful, and it's designed to keep you safe by avoiding anything that feels uncomfortable, uncertain, or challenging. In the blue corner, we have your prefrontal cortex, your rational planning brain. This is the part that sets goals, makes plans, and knows what you should be doing. Now here's the kicker. Your limbic system is about 5 times stronger than your prefrontal cortex. So when these 2 go head-to-head, guess who usually wins? Dr. Tim Feichel from Carleton University has done groundbreaking research on this, and here's what he found. Procrastination is essentially your brain's way of coping with negative emotions. When you think about doing a task and feel stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, your limbic system kicks in and says, nope, let's do something else instead. Dr. Tim Feichel from Carleton University has done groundbreaking research on this, and here's what he found. Procrastination is essentially your brain's way of coping with negative emotions. When you think about doing a task and feel stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, your limbic system kicks in and says, nope, let's do something else instead. So you check social media, clean your room, or suddenly decide you need to research the best coffee makers for 3 hours. Why? Because these activities give you an immediate dopamine hit. They feel good right now. And your brain is wired to prioritize immediate rewards over future benefits. Now this next part is crucial, so stay with me. There are actually 3 different types of procrastinators, and the strategy that works for one type might actually make things worse for another type. In just a moment, I'm going to help you figure out which type you are. But first, let me ask you this. Think about the last time you procrastinated on something important. What emotion were you feeling when you thought about doing that task? Was it anxiety, boredom, overwhelm, fear of failure? Drop your answer in the comments, because understanding your emotional trigger is the first step to overcoming it. All right, let's figure out what type of procrastinator you are. The 3 types of procrastinators. Based on my research and working with hundreds of people, I've identified 3 distinct types of procrastinators. Most people are a combination of these, but usually one dominates. Let's see which one sounds most like you. Sound familiar? You spend hours planning the perfect workout routine, but never actually go to the gym. You research the best way to start a business for months, but never take the first step. You rewrite the first paragraph of your essay 20 times and never get to paragraph 2. The perfectionist's motto is, if I can't do it perfectly, why do it at all? Type 1, the perfectionist procrastinator. You have incredibly high standards. You want everything to be perfect. So you delay starting because you're afraid it won't meet your expectations. You'd rather not try at all than try and produce something mediocre. Sound familiar? You spend hours planning the perfect workout routine, but never actually go to the gym. You research the best way to start a business for months, but never take the first step. You rewrite the first paragraph of your essay 20 times and never get to paragraph 2. The perfectionist's motto is, if I can't do it perfectly, why do it at all? Type 2, the overwhelmed procrastinator. You get paralyzed by the size and complexity of tasks. You look at your to-do list and feel like you're staring at Mount Everest with flip-flops on. You want to do well, but you don't know where to start. So you don't start at all. You have a big project at work, and instead of breaking it down, you just think about the whole thing and feel overwhelmed. So you do small, easy tasks instead. Organizing your desk, checking emails, making lists of things you need to do but never actually doing them. The overwhelmed procrastinator's motto is, this is too much. I don't even know where to begin. Type 3, the thrill-seeker procrastinator. You actually work better under pressure, or at least you tell yourself you do. You wait until the last minute because the adrenaline and urgency help you focus. The problem is you're constantly stressed and the quality of your work suffers. You've convinced yourself that you do your best work under pressure. You tell people, I work better with a deadline. But deep down, you know you're just addicted to the drama and intensity of last-minute rushes. The thrill-seeker's motto is, I work better under pressure. Now here's what I want you to do. Pause this video for just 10 seconds and really think about which type resonates most with you. Maybe screenshot this moment or write it down, because in the next section, I'm going to give you specific strategies for your type. But here's something interesting. Regardless of which type you are, there's one underlying pattern that all procrastinators share. And when I discovered what this pattern was, it completely changed how I approached productivity. I'll reveal what that is right after I share the strategies for each type. Actually, you know what? Let me tell you about Sarah first. Case study, Sarah's transformation. Sarah was a marketing manager at a tech company, and she was drowning. Every presentation, every campaign, every report. She would put it off until the last possible moment. Her colleagues thought she was naturally talented because she always managed to pull things together. But Sarah was exhausted. She came to me because she was about to miss a major deadline that could affect her promotion. When we did the assessment, Sarah was clearly a combination of type 1 and type 2, a perfectionist who got overwhelmed. Here's what we did for Sarah, and you can apply this same approach. Step 1, the emotion audit. Before we tackled her tasks, we tackled her emotions. For 1 week, every time Sarah felt the urge to procrastinate, she had to write down what she was feeling. Not what she was thinking, what she was feeling. The results were eye-opening. Sarah discovered that her procrastination was triggered by 2 main emotions: fear of judgment and fear of not being good enough. Step 2, the 2-minute rule plus. For perfectionists like Sarah, we modified the famous 2-minute rule. Instead of, if it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now, we used, if it takes less than 2 minutes to start, do it now. The key word there is start. not finish. Just start. Step 3. The progress over perfection mantra. Sarah's new rule became, done is better than perfect, and started is better than done. The transformation was remarkable. Within 30 days, Sarah had not only caught up on all her delayed projects, but was actually getting ahead. She got the promotion. But more importantly, she got her life back. 6 months later, Sarah sent me a message that I'll never forget. She said, "I finally feel like I'm living up to my potential instead of constantly falling short of it." Now, Sarah's story illustrates something crucial that applies to all three types of procrastinators. There's a hidden pattern that, once you recognize it, makes overcoming procrastination so much easier. And that pattern is what I call the procrastination paradox. Let me explain what that means. The procrastination paradox. Here's the paradox that keeps people stuck in procrastination cycles. The more you try to force yourself to do something, the more your brain resists it. It's like trying to push a beach ball underwater. The harder you push, the more it wants to pop back up. This is why most productivity advice doesn't work. It's all about force and willpower and discipline. But willpower is a finite resource, and discipline is just another word for forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. Dr. Kelly McGonigal's research at Stanford shows us that willpower works like a muscle. It gets tired. So any system that relies on willpower alone is doomed to fail. So what's the solution? Instead of trying to force yourself to do things, you need to make your brain want to do them. And the way you do that is by changing the emotional associations your brain has with the task. Here's how it works. Phase 1, emotional awareness, recognize. What emotions the task triggers for you? Is it anxiety? Boredom? Fear? You can't change what you don't acknowledge. Phase 2, emotional reframing. Instead of trying to eliminate negative emotions, we're going to pair the task with positive emotions. This is where it gets interesting. Phase 3, environmental design. We're going to structure your environment so that starting feels easier than not starting. Let me give you a concrete example. Remember how I used to procrastinate on writing? Every time I thought about writing, my brain associated it with struggle, frustration, and the fear of producing garbage. So I changed the association. I made my writing space beautiful. I bought a special coffee that I only drink when I write. I created a playlist that puts me in a creative mood. I started writing for just 10 minutes at a time, with no pressure to produce anything good. Within a month, my brain started associating writing with pleasure instead of pain. Now, I actually look forward to it. This brings us to the core system I use, what I call the SPARK method. It's an acronym that stands for 5 simple steps that work regardless of which type of procrastinator you are. And I'm about to walk you through each step in detail. But first, let me address something that might be going through your head right now. Addressing objections and mindset shifts. Right about now, you might be thinking something like, "This sounds great in theory, but you don't understand my situation. I'm just lazy. I don't have enough willpower. I've tried everything and nothing works." I hear you. I've been there. And I want to address these thoughts head on because they're not just wrong. They're actively sabotaging your success. Myth 1, I'm just lazy. Laziness doesn't exist. What we call laziness is usually one of 3 things: lack of clarity about what to do, lack of energy to do it, or lack of emotional safety around doing it. Lazy people don't watch 40-minute videos about overcoming procrastination. You're here because you care, not because you're lazy. Dr. Devon Price's research shows that what we perceive as laziness is often a sign that our needs aren't being met. Whether that's physical needs like rest, emotional needs like safety, or psychological needs like autonomy. Myth 2, I don't have enough willpower. Willpower is not a personality trait. It's a skill, and like any skill, it can be developed. But more importantly, the SPARK method is designed to work with your natural tendencies, not against them. Myth 3, I've tried everything. No, you haven't. You've tried everything that relies on force and discipline, but you probably haven't tried working with your brain's natural reward systems. You haven't tried changing your emotional associations. You haven't tried environmental design. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop trying to become a different person. Start designing systems that work for the person you already are. When I stopped trying to force myself to be disciplined and started designing systems that made productivity feel natural and enjoyable, everything changed. I'm still the same person who gets distracted by interesting articles and wants to organize my bookshelf instead of doing work. But now I have systems that work with these tendencies instead of against them. And that's exactly what the Spark method does. It works with your natural psychology, not against it. So let's dive into it. The Spark method. All right, here it is, the Spark method. 5 steps that will transform how you approach any task you've been putting off. S is for start small. Most people fail because they try to change everything at once. Instead, we're going to use what psychologists call minimum viable effort. What's the smallest possible step you can take toward your goal? If you want to write a book, don't commit to writing a chapter. Commit to writing 1 sentence. If you want to get fit, don't commit to hour-long workouts. Commit to putting on your workout clothes. The goal isn't to accomplish much. It's to establish the neural pathway that says, I'm someone who does this thing. P is for pair with pleasure. Remember, we're trying to change your brain's emotional association with the task. So we're going to pair the task with something you already enjoy. Listen to your favorite podcast only while doing admin work. Drink a special tea only while studying. Work in a beautiful location. Create a reward system where you get something you enjoy after completing small chunks of work. Your brain will start associating the task with the pleasure, making it easier to start. A is for anticipate obstacles. This is where most people fail. They make plans but don't plan for problems. We're going to use implementation intentions. If, then planning. If I feel overwhelmed by the size of the project, then I will break it into smaller tasks. If I get distracted by my phone, then I will put it in another room. If I start perfectionist thinking, then I will set a timer for 25 minutes and work on anything related to the project. R is for remove friction. Make starting as easy as possible. Every extra step between you and starting is an opportunity for your brain to come up with an excuse. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. If you want to eat healthy, prep your meals on Sunday. If you want to work on a project, have all your materials ready and your workspace set up. The easier it is to start, the more likely you are to actually do it. K is for keep momentum. Once you start, you want to keep going. We'll use techniques like the Pomodoro technique, body doubling, working alongside others, and progress tracking to maintain momentum. Set small, achievable milestones. Celebrate small wins. Use visual progress tracking. And here's a secret weapon. End your work sessions when you still want to keep going. This creates positive anticipation for the next session. Let me give you a quick example of Spark in action. Let's say you've been procrastinating on organizing your finances. Start by gathering just 1 financial document. P. Do it while listening to your favorite music. A. If you feel overwhelmed, then you'll focus on just 1 category at a time. R. Have a designated folder ready. Work in your favorite space. K. Set a 15-minute timer and celebrate when it goes off. Simple, right? But simple doesn't mean easy. Implementation is everything. So I've created a complete 30-day action plan that walks you through applying Spark to your specific situation. The 30-day action plan. All right, let's make this practical. I'm going to give you a complete 30-day roadmap for implementing everything we've discussed. Week 1, foundation building. Days 1 to 3, complete your procrastination type assessment and emotion audit. Days 4-7, choose 1 task you've been procrastinating on and apply the start small principle. Goal: establish the habit of starting, not finishing. Week 2, system design. Days 8 to 10, implement pair with pleasure for your chosen task. Days 11-14, practice. Anticipate obstacles and create your if-then plans. Goal: make starting feel enjoyable rather than difficult. Week 3, environment optimization. Days 15 to 17, focus on remove friction. Optimize your workspace and processes. Days 18 to 21, implement keep momentum strategies. Goal: create systems that sustain themselves. Week 4, integration and expansion. Days 22-28, Apply. Spark to a second area where you procrastinate. Days 29 to 30. Review, adjust, and plan your next 30 days. Goal. Make anti-procrastination your new normal. I've created a detailed worksheet that walks you through each of these steps. You can find the link in the description below. Here's what I want you to remember. You're not broken. You don't need to become a different person. You just need better systems. And with the Spark method, you have everything you need to break free from procrastination once and for all. So here's my challenge for you. Pick one thing you've been procrastinating on. Just one. Apply the start small principle right after you finish watching this video. Spend just 2 minutes on it. That's it. Then come back and let me know in the comments what you chose and how it went. I read every comment, and I'll personally reply to as many as I can. If this video helped you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more evidence-based productivity content. And ring the notification bell because next week, I'm releasing a follow-up video on maintaining motivation long-term. Remember, progress over perfection, action over intention. Your future self is counting on the decision you make right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.